episode of DJK GameTime. This is Jeff here. I'm as your usual host. I got my two buddies with me today, Kirk and Danny. We're not going to add anybody today. Just to kind of kick things off, Kirk finally watched Mars. Kirk, what did you think about that? Like I've said before, though, I'm such a space geek. I cried in the opening scene when actors landed on a fictional Mars. But Kirk, what did you think?
You're a tool for crying at that first episode.
Fuck you.
I feel like this was covered last time when I listened to that podcast.
It's been covered every time, but I don't give a shit.
Just to reiterate for anyone listening, yes, Jeff is a tool. No, the series was awesome. I haven't finished it yet. I've just gotten through season 1. But I think
I haven't started season 2 yet either.
Yeah. But I think this is the future, or one of the past 4 documentaries. Like, I don't mind watching a good documentary, but if you do like a drama documentary where you have like people explaining stuff going on and then having actors act out what they think happened or what is going to go to happen, because for the Mars series, this is, stuff that's going to happen, was it 500 years in the future?
No, not even. It's not even 500 years in the future. It's like 10 years in our future. If you haven't watched Mars, go watch Mars. It's fucking phenomenal.
I was exaggerating a bit, but I think it was like 2055, so...
No, it's 2025. 2035 is when we're supposed to land on Mars, but we're supposed to be putting like the frameworks into Mars by as early as 2020. It's happening.
You know what? In season 2, I'm at 2055, or they're at 2055.
Yeah, exactly. But that's like after they've already set up the base. That's after they've already found, spoiler alert if you haven't watched the first season of this yet, but it's been out for 3 years. After they found like silicon-based life on Mars, like it's fucking happening.
Like I do.
Now, granted, we don't know that there's actual silicon-based life on Mars. I'm not saying that there is or whatever, but like for the purposes of the dramatic series, they found silicon-based life. But no, like by 2035, we're supposed to have at least 150 people on Mars as a research outpost. It's, it's all hearsay and whatnot, but like you can go look it up. They've already designed and they're manufacturing the nuclear reactor that'll go up to Mars and be the main source of energy for that 150-person base. They say that they're going to have that ready to launch by year 2022. So that's like, what, 2.5 years away? Like, holy fuck. I'm going to get to watch people land on Mars and not return home in my lifetime.
Well, in the show, they do have some people come back. You make it sound like they're going to go to Mars and never come back ever. But it's understood to be a one-way trip. Yes. That...
Are you talking in real life, or are you talking in your show?
No, in real life too. Like if the first people that go to Mars, like, are going with the intent and with the understanding, the intention of not coming home.
So, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
I think they're always gonna have the option to come home.
They're gonna have the option, but like there's that understanding that the first group that goes is going to be there for an extended period of time with no real indication of when they're going to be actually able to come home.
Okay, well, just because I don't think you ever met Austin, our buddy. I won't say his last name just in case that matters, but he actually worked for SpaceX and did security for them, like cybersecurity. And I saw all those things about them asking people, oh, are you okay with never having sex again? Are you okay with never doing this again? Because you're never coming back. And he started laughing his ass off, and he goes, yeah, that's some dude trying to raise money, fear-mongering and making YouTube videos. He goes, the whole point of going to Mars is to come back.
Oh, no,
like,
entirely.
That's the whole point, yeah.
The point of Mars is a forward operating base to go further into what we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is in the first 10 years, you won't know if you're going to be able to come home in those first 10 years.
That makes more sense, because even in the show, they're like, all right, we're making plans to colonize Mars, but we also have plans to be able to send people back home to Earth, because the show explains it, if you watched it, that psychologically people can't sit there in a small group for that long a time in spacesuits or in a confined space working to stay alive for so long. especially
Right.
in today's age.
It's not. It won't work for extended periods of time. Like whatever the case may be. And let's face facts. Once they're able to build a dome that can habitat 5,000, 10,000 people, it's tourism.
Yeah, it'll be a big
tourism.
tourism
It's straight
spot
tourism.
until we need it, or we can terraform the planet to live on it and actually enjoy ourselves a little bit. But
Yeah, I think you're thinking a couple, 300, 400, 500 years in the future. Space
It's
isn't
really
even,
not even that
space.
far.
Space isn't even really tourism, dude. Unless, tour. Look, if you pay enough money, you can get there. But tourism is like regular Joe being able to save up money, kind of thing. Like that's just uber elite, kind of.
Yeah.
That's your trip to Mars would be like 2 years of your life. That's not really tourism. The journey there, the journey back.
The journey
is,
there right now is only. Well, I say it's only 8 months.
if
There's
nothing
a small
goes
window
wrong,
opportunity to launch. There's a small.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're
There's a
doing.
small opportunity to launch in that 8-month window, but it's right now it's 8 months. By the time 2025, 2035 comes around, if we continue on this path, we're looking at 3 months, and then you exponentially increase from there. It becomes like a week trip. Like I probably won't see a rocket that can get to Mars in a week in my lifetime, but my kids will see it being a common occurrence for shipments to and from Mars.
I think the show's cool. It does go into very much details
Oh yeah, it goes into so much detail. I
about
love it.
what we need to consider, what needs to happen, what could happen, and then the actors who are playing, all these different scenarios. And it's not like, the typical documentary type situation where it's like one scene in one area. No, you start to get invested with some of these characters on like their journey to Mars and how they're hanging out there and trying to make this work for humanity. So I think it's well done. I think it's
They find the Traveler. It's great. It's just great.
yeah.
They find the Traveler. They become Guardians. The first Sun, the first Titan, the first Warlock. It's great.
No, it's
All
find the
right.
Traveler, darkness comes, Traveler goes to sleep, and then creates ghosts, and we become Guardians.
Yeah.
After it shows technology. Anyways, I love how they did the show. I would watch more documentaries like that for any topic, but like Jeff, I love like space exploration and colonization topics.
Yeah,
So-
they did a very good job with the series. We've talked about it over the past few episodes. If you haven't picked it up and watched it yet, you're fucking up. Go fucking watch it.
Sorry, I'm fucking up then.
You are fucking up.
That's fine.
You're
and
fucking up
Life's-
hardcore.
Yeah, well, life's been a little crazy as of.
I don't want to hear about crazy life. I have 3 trade shows in the next month.
speaking
you.
of people fucking up, Sony has closed all deals with Tom Holland being Spider-Man in the MCU.
I mean, what do you expect after they've had a good 2-episode run of Spider-Man? It's time to kill it.
2-episode run.
Yeah, they've had 2 standalone movies of Spider-Man that did very well at the box office. So it's time to reboot the franchise.
You mean the 2 movies that did worse than all the MCU movies of Spider-Man? That makes sense.
No. I'm talking about the 2 MCU Spider-Man movies that did very well at the box office.
Oh.
It's time to kill the franchise and reboot it.
I thought you were talking about like Venom and Into the Spider-Verse. Those are the 2 Spider-Man movies I could think of from Sony. But
Nope. I'm talking about the Far From Home and Homecoming, which don't make sense because Tom Holland's from the UK. So that would be Homecoming, and Far From Home would be the one based in the US based on the character, but whatever.
you can't see it, but I'm rolling my eyes right now.
Yeah, I don't care. I've had a couple to drink tonight, so I'm kind of keep
Started
talking.
talking about Spider-Man and superheroes. I checked out. Just let me know when you're done.
No, I know.
Ugh.
It's just this is. He
Sorry,
is
man. I
one
just
of my.
don't get it.
He is one of my favorite superheroes, and it just sucks that now that the Tobey Maguire and what was the other actor's name? Andrew Garfield. Like those guys didn't play bad Spider-Man. I just keep it consistent, and like they had a chance with MCU to build up a.
Tobey
really great
Maguire
character.
wasn't bad in the first 2 movies. The 3rd movie was his fault.
I don't count that movie.
Andrew Garfield was a
You know
very
what?
good Spider-Man.
I take that back.
I don't care what anybody says. Andrew Garfield was a very good Spider-Man.
He
But
was.
go ahead.
That third movie,
It was his fault.
it was his fault, but it made some of the best fucking memes I've seen out there.
Oh, no, it has. So
That's the only thing
Danny,
that I came out of it.
I don't know if I told Danny the story. Kirk, I'm pretty sure I told you this story. So for those of you listening that don't know this, I do like Dragon Con and Comic Con and yada, yada, yada. So it was Friday night of Dragon Con, which is Labor Day weekend. I went down to the hotel floor in a Tom Holland Spider-Man outfit. A Tom Holland Spider-Man suit. And this dude just came up to me, and he was a little weird. He had this like slick black hair, and he had a suit on. And he was just like, "Hey, Spider-Man, I fucked up your franchise." And I was like, I don't get what he's doing. And like, it took me a minute of looking at him just with straight disbelief in like, what the fuck is going on. And I noticed he had the Tobey Maguire symbiote suit on. And I realized he was the Tobey Maguire piece of shit symbiote Spider-Man that killed the first franchise.
You mean
That's
emo
a fun
Peter
little
Parker?
Yeah, the emo Peter Parker that was just fucking awful.
Speaking
I don't
of-
know. It just made me think of it and was a fun story, so I decided to share it.
Well, speaking of Dragon Con, how was that? I know you attended and you're a big
Oh,
cosplayer with your fiance.
it was a lot. So this was the first year that we actually like stayed on property. So last year, 2018 con, we stayed at the W in Midtown Atlanta, which is probably about a half mile from America's Mart. If you know Dragon Con, America's Mart is where the dealer's hall is. And it wasn't bad, but this year, like I said, we stayed on property. We stayed at the Marriott, which is in the middle of the convention. And it was so fucking worth it. We were up until 3, 4 in the morning. Didn't have to take an Uber back. Didn't have to walk back to the hotel. We were just able to go right up the elevator. I was able to wear my ODST. So I did ODSTs this year. I'm going to have them next year too with some additives. But I was able to do that. I was able to get in and out as I wished. It was just so much nicer. If you're going to try to do it, I'm going to tell you, selfishly, don't try to get a host hotel, but in all honesty, try to get a host hotel. It just makes it that much easier. My fiance had a very good time. We did the Adventure Zone live show, which was at the Cobb Energy and Performing Arts Center. I got to meet the McElroy brothers. Shout out to the McElroys. If we can get them on the show, that'd be fucking dope. Probably won't ever hear it, but that's okay.
Podcast goals.
Podcast goals. Yeah, made a lot of connections with the 405th. Shout out to my Hell Jumpers out there, the other Spartans out there. No, it was a good time. Like I said, if you haven't done a convention like that, I highly suggest doing it. I know Kirk, Tampa has Tampa Comic Con, and Danny, there's something going on in Austin every weekend, so I don't know how you haven't been to one yet, but
it's more
people just dress
more
up like
music.
that every day.
Yeah, more music festivals out here than anything else, man.
Actually, funny enough, Jasmine got wind of all that, and she seems very interested in going to like Comic-Con or something and dressing up. So you might be hearing from the both of us here soon.
I've never been. I should go at some point.
So she's very arts and crafty, so she likes to make stuff and show her creative side. So we will see. But she has shown immense interest in it, and I was like, okay, I can definitely set it up. And I have a friend, you, here that is like a pro at going at cons and getting ready for them. So
fuck yeah,
cool.
Dude. We'll come down to Tampa.
Or we can come to Atlanta.
We'll do TampaCon. There's MegaCon in Orlando, which is there too. Atlanta, we have AWA coming up the week before the wedding. And then Memorial Day weekend is MomoCon. And then Dragon Con Labor Day weekend next year. Those are like my three big ones. And then there's obviously like stuff in Charlotte that I'll probably go to because my buddy that I've been doing this stuff with is based out of Charlotte. I'd be more than happy to come down to do something in Tampa. 343 may be releasing locations and dates for Outpost Discovery for next year. So like the 2020 Outpost Discovery Tour. So that would be interesting because my guess is so with 343 and the Halo Outpost Discovery shit, they actually talked to the 405th, which is the costuming group that I'm part of for Halo, and we kind of like say, yeah, that would be a good location, but you guys did that last year, so how about we do it here? It's a little more centralized. Like they actually like talk to us and see what we do because we do a lot of like volunteer work with them and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
awesome.
we may be getting an Outpost Discovery in Atlanta next year, hopefully, which would be nice. I've seen
some photos of like Outpost Discovery, and there's actually a Halo comic related to it as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I definitely, if you haven't done it, if you have some interest in it, just kind of go walk the floor. If you want to delve deeper and like make something, I'd be more than happy to help you with some big projects. Or there's a bunch of resources online. There's a bunch of resources on YouTube. I learned a lot of my shit on YouTube.
I definitely want to check out DestinyCon too. That's here in Tampa. Happens every year.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't seen a lot from that either.
Yeah, it's kind of like hush hush. Like you can't really find anything out there about that. But
yeah,
who knows? I mean, it's pretty much in my backyard, so I can scout it out for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, I met Lou Ferrigno at con. He's a big dude.
You don't say.
Very soft-spoken.
Interesting.
It was also the weekend that... So, I'm a terrible person for this. There was a big bodybuilder who was really good friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I feel like everyone's friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger by now.
Well, he was a famous like bodybuilder. He passed away that weekend, and I think Lou is good friends with him because like they all ran together in like the 70s and 80s. Mm-hmm. But that might have been why he was a little more soft spoken. I don't know.
Maybe.
But no, it was good to meet him. Like I said, I met the McElroy brothers. Oh, I met Travis and Clint. I didn't meet Griffin or Justin, but. Yeah, they were really cool. Kim's in a group. My fiance is in a group that, if you're familiar with the Adventure Zone, she did the 7 red robes. And they were the first group to do all 7 red robes. And Clint retweeted the picture of them and everything, so they recognized her and they custom signed her book. It was really cool. But no, that's about what I got from Dragon Con. Like I said, it eventually all starts running together, and you just kind of forget about everything, and you pick things up here and there as the year goes on, and you try to do better than next year. But no, I got some plans for next year. Like I said, I'll probably post a few progress pictures in our Instagram just for people that want to follow it through there. But otherwise,
fair enough, man.
Yeah. We can also put it in your UNSC Armament Instagram account to see your progress on some of your items too.
Yeah, that's cool. My main cosplay one. I show more like process stuff there and stuff like that.
But we can post more on the DJK Instagram and Facebook, on other stuff of your cosplay.
Yeah.
I think that's all we have for news. What games are we playing, guys?
Well, I mean, there's Gears 5.
There is Gears 5 and only Gears 5, except for me because I've been playing Space Engineers, but
Well, you're also a little baby and won't play multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't like multiplayer on Gears. I've never liked multiplayer on Gears, but everything else has been fucking great.
I mean, I've just been grinding guns in Destiny pretty much, getting ready for Shadowkeep.
I don't know how you're playing that right now. They're just gonna give everybody everything as soon as that stuff drops.
No, they're not gonna drop exotics for everyone, are they?
No, but everything's gonna be 750.
I know. I'm not grinding for power level. I'm grinding for the guns. I don't have Thorn yet. I don't have Truth, Outbreak Prime.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
So I've just been purely doing guns.
Bad Pikachu.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing for me is I wasn't high enough level, so I'm not going to continuously play for 2 months for the shot of doing it. I'll just let them boost me to 750 and then go pick them up when I'm over leveled. But that's fair. But yeah, Gears 5 is pretty much all I've been playing. I mean, we've played a good bit over this weekend.
I played a little bit of campaign, and I haven't had the confidence yet to jump on multiplayer because I'm still it's a learning curve getting back used to the controls.
Well, I know this is definitely way more of a like mine and Justin's kind of game since we are, the shooter people. I mean, especially with like Ashton and everybody jumping on, that's definitely been, kind of where we've been spending our time. It has been a rough launch for that game, though.
Well, why don't you inform everyone what you did to not only have early access, but even earlier access?
Yeah, so luckily I did not get suckered into paying money for that game.
You're welcome.
Thank you, although you got all the rewards for it, which is stupid, but fair enough. You're paying for it. I don't care. But we did Game Pass Ultimate, so we got it. It was released on Thursday night. Cute little trick you can do if you're on Xbox. You just go ahead and set your time zone to New Zealand, and the game unlocked at like 5 a.m. on Thursday. With my new job, I get to work from home a decent amount of time, so in the morning and then early afternoon, I actually got to play. And the funny part was the game was working fine. As soon as the light switch went on for all of North America, the game turned into a big steaming pile of shit for about 48 hours or so. But it was fun while it lasted at first. It's fine now. I played a little bit earlier. I was playing the campaign right before we started doing this. Just finished Act 2. There you go. There's some bombshells in Act 2. It's actually a really well done campaign.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far you played, Kirk.
I've gone to Act 2 where you're in the open snow area. And I mean,
Okay.
I didn't go farther than that because I was like, I was tired and I was like, I don't know what I want to do myself. Like, I don't want to grind out the extra parts to upgrade Jack, but I do like the concept. I am curious though, like, now that Gears has an open world aspect, is that how they're going to do with Halo Infinite?
I
hope.
So I said this from the beginning. With the first trailer for Infinite, it looks like it's going to be open world.
I'm hoping
We'll
it
see.
is too.
I would very, very much like to put open world in quotations when talking about this game. You can kind of equate it to, Destiny's planets, except there's not a bunch of bad guys scattered throughout the open area. It's very much, and this isn't spoilers for the campaign, like you'll play through the first part, guys. It's real quick. And then you'll get to this, and then I'm not going to say anything else, but you have your little thing that you travel around on, and you're just finding little dungeons. You go in, fight a couple waves of enemies and a boss, and you'll get a couple things. Kirk kind of already dropped it talking about upgrading Jack, but you find that out within 10 minutes of starting to play. But yeah, it changes the combat if you crank the difficulty up. Some of the stuff that he can do, and I'm not going to say any of his abilities, but they're pretty game-changing and lets you play however you want to play, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to having Jack as a support character, even though I heard that you can actually play as him. He doesn't have to be an NPC.
That's what I kind of can't wait for. I'm going to continue beating the campaign by myself. which is a rarity for me because I've never even played Gears of War 4's campaign. I heard it was terrible, so I just never played it.
I got to the very last act and I didn't finish it, and don't know if I want to now or not. I don't feel like I missed anything.
I could fill you in on everything in about 10 seconds. But the main reason I couldn't play that is because the campaign was only in 30 frames per second, and there was so much input lag and delay, just like Horde in Gears 4, that I couldn't stand it. I know most people probably think I'm crazy, but if you play shooters as much as I do, and you're usually pretty pinpoint, it is absolutely horrendous, the input lag that is there. So that's why I'm really happy and enjoying this campaign a good bit. I think the funny thing was there's so many glitches with it. They're slowly getting it done over time. Collectibles weren't showing up. You couldn't pick them up, even if you found them. I ended up having this thing where I have to play the campaign with my Xbox disconnected from the internet. If not, sometimes at a checkpoint it'll start to save and it'll continuously save, and then eventually the triggers don't trigger the next section of the level, and then you just have to restart that last checkpoint over and over and over again. So I don't know if that's been fixed yet. I'm not chancing it. I'm just playing the campaign offline anyway. But it's been an interesting launch. Looks like they got most of it fixed. I will say.
I was gonna say it doesn't sound too terrible with the campaign glitches, because it's kind of a new concept for Gears, having an open world, because every Gears before it has just been linear.
Oh, it's always been a linear bro fest of violence, and then as gory as it can be.
Yeah.
The dialogue in here, I don't know, it's almost kind of like there's an actual decent story. I'm only been through 2 acts, but there's character progression and
character
things
flaws
that are not normal. There's definitely different for a game that's more about
point and shoot, chainsaw.
Yeah, I was gonna say more outplaying people movement. There's actually something there if you really want it. So I mean, Horde is very different this time around.
There's Spartans in it.
Yeah, well, I was going to cover that at the end, but I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. The fact that Gears 5 is an advertisement for a bunch of other games just really is incredibly off-putting, and I think it's stupid. And TC can go fuck itself. I'm sorry. It's a $60 game that people paid for. It doesn't need to be a giant banner advertisement. Now, having said that, I'm playing it for free on Game Pass, so I guess I really can't complain. But you did charge other people that were stupid enough to pay you that money. But in addition to what Jeff was saying, there's a Halo in it. It used to be you selected your role and then you picked your character and you loaded in, and you could kind of do whatever the hell you wanted to. Now, every character has a specific role, and there can't be more than one. So if you want to play a character, you can click Horde. Your default character is selected. When you get in there, somebody else already picks it. It'll change your character to somebody else.
So wait, you can't select your own class like you did in Gears 4?
Oh, well, yes
you
and
can
no.
play a class, but each character character model has a set class too.
Has a set class, yeah. So you can't be the mechanic and Coltrane. You can't be, first off,
be a builder.
Coltrane's not even in the fucking game either. They took out all the characters.
As far
all
as
these
we
characters,
know they're going to bring the Coltrane back.
No. They are, but it's probably going to be for money.
Yeah, that's the.
You're going to have to buy with real money in a $60 AAA game. You're going to have to buy characters in the fucking campaign. Really?
Their thing was that they were oh well, we got rid of loot boxes, but there's not a lot of customization options.
So, I don't play Fortnite, but everybody was saying that it's like the Fortnite shop. It's just how much money can we make you waste on this? So that's kind of bad. But I don't want to focus on the bad. If you go on the internet and type in Gears 5, that's all you're going to hear, because everybody loves.
But at the end of the day,
bitch.
the game came out. The game minus the issues that happened when the North American servers launched. It's a very good game. It's a very well built game.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it plays insanely well. Horde is great because you no longer have to fight people for energy. All energy is shared. So you never, everybody's not trying to run past each other. Second, yeah, it's kind of weird that only the engineer can build this and that. But then again, I mean, that's kind of cool because then he can build shit the way he wants to. And it requires more communication. The character that I've been playing a lot is JD. I don't even do anything. I just click the button and I have upgrades on his character for ammo regeneration, higher damage, faster airstrike, which is like my ultimate ability, and then like crit percentage damage increase. So I don't even have to go back to the fabricator to do anything unless you just want to buy your gun back. Like, it's really cool how it works. The character thing is annoying, but it is what it is. The only thing I will say, I am the person that if I click on Horde and it throws me in your match and you already have my character, I back out. Because this is stupid. I want to play as this character. So that's what I'm going to do. As far as Escape goes, I've only actually played one game of it, but it is really cool. I'm interested to see what the community will create with it in case you're not familiar with it. You spawn, and it's basically a race to the end where there's this green gas chasing you. Weapons and ammo are extremely limited, and there's a map in the bottom corner, and you can kind of go off into different corners and find guns and ammo and whatever you want to push forward, or else you're fighting with just your fist, which you'll definitely be killed at that point. And it's a race to the end, and it can actually be really tough. And it also has a snap build feature, much like a Halo's Forge, where people are going to build their own maps. They did put a rule in, though, you can't publish it unless you can actually beat it. So, if you ever get on there and you're playing, you don't understand how in the hell somebody beat this, they may have put a secret in it for only them, but it has been beaten at least once. So I think that's pretty cool.
It's kind of like how, what's a game called? Mario World Builder? Like, you can't, same rule, you can't publish a game unless you beat it once. And I've seen some of those levels, and it just makes my palms sweaty, like how, like, efficient you have to be, like, running around, hitting stuff, hitting enemies. Like, I can only imagine what's going to come from Gears 5 in the community.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see that. I will say, as far as multiplayer goes, one of our friends who's not very happy that it's not Gears 1 again, because that's all he ever wants to play. He titles it Gears 4 with a better Lancer. I can kind of see where he's coming from. If you've been a big Gears player, I mean, I have, none of these kids have, but I have. It's a little crazy how powerful the Lancer is. At this point in time, you can just get downed. Team deathmatch truly is hardcore team camp match with everybody behind walls. I don't know if they'll tune it in the end. I mean, if you're good at wall bouncing and using cover, you can play around it. But gone are the days of everybody rushing with shotguns for now. We'll see what they do. Speaking of shotgun, all the hit percentages are back. So when you turn the corner and blast somebody, you can definitely get 98 in one hit. Gotten that way more than I'd like to admit. And they'll have the 100 in one hit. But the cool thing they've done is when you're playing multiplayer, I'm not sure if it's in campaign. I don't think it is. The shotgun pellet spray, whenever you shoot, it'll pull up in the window, like the reticle, and tell you basically these pellets hit, these pellets didn't. So you can actually get a visual representation of how good or bad your shot is.
I'm really glad they added that in there, and that is in the campaign. I saw that during the boot camp mission. So
okay, I couldn't remember whether it was. I don't really use the Nastro all that much, and if I do, I'm just kind of bouncing around having fun with the little enemies. But I think that helps visualize for people, more what they're looking at. I think for a lot of people, it's practice, just practice. I mean, this is why these two people on the podcast with me don't play, because you have to want to be good at this game to actually be good at it. There's a lot of little nuances. I mean, outplaying people. There's so. I mean, it's not a point and shoot. Kind of like a Call of Duty or a Halo. There is a lot of outplaying and outthinking that's possible, and I think that throws a lot of people off.
Unless
There's
you're
a lot
playing
of
this
button
on
combinations.
unless you're playing this on PC, which everyone is just using nothing but the assault rifle.
Oh my gosh, dude, we were playing a game. What was it, Monday night?
Yeah, I think I
And
was
it
in that
was,
party.
yeah, it was like Ashton didn't turn off ranked crossplay, so we ended up playing with I think it was 3 PC people on a King of the Hill match. And it's just like the Lancer was a laser beam. It was like, this is fucking stupid. I don't even want to play this.
Yeah, I don't even know why they would think that that's a good idea because.
Well, and why is it on by default? That's just a cop out. I mean, I get it. Well, man, you could turn it off if you want. I mean,
at least
they
they give
talk
you the
about
option.
wanting. Well, I mean, they talk about wanting to keep people engaged, right? Okay. So Gears 4 with crossplay wasn't that bad. The Lancer wasn't that powerful. I play against people on PC and I'd still beat their ass. That's a non-issue. But when you have a rifle that's that powerful, well, now we have an issue. Because now the advantage is huge. I mean, sniping was always crazy on PC. It's just their PC community is small, so they want to keep it, kind of jacked up. But
It's funny. This is the first time I'm hearing about Gears being on PC. I did not know Gears 4 was on PC at all.
Yeah, it was. Actually, I think it's on Steam now too. They finally just said, "Fuck it" with the Epic Store and put it on Steam. But yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. The PC thing's just small. They talk about wanting to keep people, all inclusive, but you have some casuals that aren't going to go through all the settings and turn that shit off because I know about it. They're going to go in there and get wrecked by people on PC using Lancers, and that's no quicker way to alienate your player base on a game where the skill cap's already higher than most people want to deal with. But Lancer does feel great. The Boltok and the Sniper, in my opinion, are the best they've ever been. I like the reticles so much, it just feels pinpoint. The hitbox for the Sniper headshot might be a little big. It seems like some shots were, oh man, I missed. Oh wait, never mind, that was a headshot. That happens quite a good bit. But yeah, overall the game is really good.
I played a little bit with the new Sniper, and doesn't it? You actually have like a close range reticle now, don't you?
Well, no, I mean, you always
had
had that. Yeah, it was just instead of this big circling box until you zoomed all the way in, you have that little pinpoint. Like, it just gives you a little more. I don't know. It just feels better. I mean, there's probably no difference, but it does. I mean, the last thing I'll have to say, and the only thing that I really, is that the maps. I think there's only like 6 or 7 new maps, and like the rest of the maps are all old maps from previous. Most of them are from Gears 4. It's like, I mean, in Gears 4 they had their whole map thing, and half the Gears 4 maps were like, we're gonna put some fog in here and change the weapon spawns. It's a new map. Like, no, not at all. But the new maps all have some pretty cool features to them. Exhibit, for example, up top, there's like laser protection things that protect the only bridge on the middle of the map. You play King of the Hill, it spawns the hill right in the middle of it. It's killing people left and right. It's pretty funny. There's a snow map where the big open parts in the rush distances in the middle of the map are on ice. If you see somebody charging, rather than shoot them, you can break the ice below them and put them like on, I don't know if it's extra cold ice or like in the water, where they actually freeze, take damage, and it'll kill them. So they all have little environmental things that are cool.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, it plays relatively the same. I mean, it really is. But the only thing I would say is that for those of people that have played a lot of Gears before, if you're wondering why you're dying so much, pull out of your roadie run earlier, take your shot a split second earlier than you think you need to. I don't know why, but that seems to work on this game.
Are they going down the route where like all the maps, they're going to release all the maps for free and then just go, as you said before, like buying character packs and character skins?
From what I understand, yes. Like the Gears 4 pass was that you got to play the maps a week early for double XP, and you could play them offline. Like you could select them. to play your own game. Where if you didn't have them, you could still play all the new maps in the regular rotations. So it was kind of there was an uproar about that kind of thing when Gears 4 came out. People, I guess, don't have any reading comprehension skills and didn't understand what they were buying when they bought it. So, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, nothing you can do there.
A whole lot. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It sucks that all these games are coming out in the last couple months of the year, and I honestly won't have time to like get over that learning curve. I might play some multiplayer matches, but it's gonna be a while because.
I mean, I pretty much resigned myself that I already knew that you and Jeff would probably never play that game with me. I have a couple guys that I've always played with that they're all back online playing. I mean, it's definitely takes a certain kind of person to like it. Borderlands coming out. Never really played Borderlands. I could be wrong. People probably scream at me, but sounds like it's a little bit of a watered down kind of version of Destiny, more or less. Yes, no?
I would kind of agree with that statement.
Because with that coming out, the Destiny expansion coming out, I still love me some Apex. I'm definitely going to play some
comes
Gears.
Out this week.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, hate to say this, but the actual new Call of Duty looks kind of cool. I'm definitely going to get that.
So,
better you than me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I know everybody's getting it, so that'll be fun. We'll have it too.
I'll let you guys play it first before I even consider it.
Just tell Glenn to buy it. Glenn, go buy.
Yeah, Glenn will buy it. Just don't
True.
Buy it.
But
the new one, not the old one.
He already owns the old one. I can tell you that. So he can't.
Might end up buying it again. No, you don't know that. You don't know that.
I won't.
He might find a way to do it.
I won't put it past him. But
Glenn.
I'm also excited for the new Cyberpunk as well. Like games I'm looking forward to is Destiny expansion, Cyberpunk, and I don't think Halo Infinite comes out till next year or the year after.
Yeah, Cyberpunk doesn't come out until 2020 as well.
Oh, well, that goes to show you how much I've been paying attention. So maybe I will have some time for Gears and
Infinite in the new console. The new Xbox console comes out Christmas of next year. Well, excuse me, holiday of next year.
Well, shoot, you also got to think new operators and season dropped in Rainbow Six.
Today? Yesterday?
Yeah, today, actually. Today, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't forget about that. I mean, it's just...
There's too much.
So, I don't know if Danny would have heard of this game. Kirk, have you heard of Greedfall?
No.
So, it's a small studio that developed it, but apparently it's killing it in the ratings. It's a single-player RPG game, but apparently it's killing it in the ratings.
It's just that's another game that might fly under my radar. I mean, as we say, like what makes us different from most podcasters is we have a 9-to-5 job. I don't have time to play all these games. I wish I did, but I'm just focusing this year and next year on the games I want to play. And if there's time for others, I'll jump on it. But I mean, Destiny's going to eat up a shit ton of my time like it normally does. I mean, I want to get back in Rainbow. I like playing Apex as well, dabbling in there every here and there. So it's just, it's not a factor of money. It's a factor of time right now. It's just...
Yeah, time is very limited.
Yep.
All my buddies from Running for Brews, I ran with them, and they're all like, dude, we don't even know how you have time for games. I'm like, I make time for it, and it's not easy. Like, older I get, the worse it is. But
yep.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. We yeah. I don't have a whole hell of a lot of. I have more time than I did, but then it's like, okay, well, it's football season. We're going out to places, doing stuff.
That's part of the reason why I'm happy to be playing Destiny again, because I can grind like getting certain guns out while I'm watching football or a TV show or something like that. Like,
I mean, it's kind of like what you and I used to do. Get up, Pot of coffee goes on. It's
College game day.
College game day, man. That's my ritual every Saturday. I get up, I watch College game day.
We go grind like materials or try and go get a gun.
Hey, so I want to touch on this just briefly, just because I'm a piece of shit. I know this isn't
true.
I know this isn't like a NFL sports podcast, but Danny and Kirk for that matter, how do you guys feel about the Falcons this past weekend? Because my team had a great game.
So, for those of you that don't know, Jeff's a huge bandwagon Patriots fan.
Yes, because bandwagon
so,
after 28 years is... Yeah.
It's
I remember when we didn't even win games.
Were you even born?
Yeah. I was very young, but I remember it. I remember it.
Yeah, the Super Bowl from a couple years back gets brought up every now and then.
Oh, but, you mean the 28-3 Super Bowl?
I mean, look, man, at least I don't have to cheat. That's all I'm going to say.
Whatever.
Your franchise is notorious for cheating. That's all I'm going to say.
Whatever.
So,
we
that's
just
fine.
got caught.
We pumped in crowd noise, I think, a couple years back or something during a game.
Yep. I remember that.
But we didn't deflate footballs or steal people's game plans. But
yeah,
all right with that.
But we also didn't ever lose a 25.
28-3, right? Yeah, nobody
25-point lead in the fourth quarter.
It was the third quarter. You fuckstick.
It was the fourth quarter.
It was third quarter.
If anyone is wondering, we do have a sports bar channel in our Discord server where you can continue this conversation of shit talking, but either college or NFL football.
I really hope somebody breaks Tom Brady's spine. Not actually, but I just he drives me nuts.
Because he's just too good for you.
Although that Super Bowl commercial last year where he's hold my ring, so he just scrapes them all off.
Oh god,
yeah.
Football. That was hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, that was good.
You gotta give him that one.
That. No, that whole thing was pretty funny.
That was the induction commercial, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Hall of Fame induction commercial. Yeah,
something like that. Well, see what happens though, man. I mean, unfortunately, we already know that the whole Antonio Brown thing is corrupt, and I love before anybody said anything, the NFL was like, "We're not going to investigate that," and everybody was like, "We didn't say anything. What are you talking about?" It's this is so obvious what happened with that it's just there's another.
Yeah, that was weird, and then the other weird thing about that was that now again, I'm not saying one way or another that he's guilty or not guilty. I thought it was very strange that less than 24 hours after he signed a deal with the Patriots, someone brought up sexual assault allegations against him.
Yeah, that seems like bullshit. But the one thing I do know for sure, and they were talking about this on the radio because I still listen to Atlanta Sports Radio out here, but they were saying that legally all his agent had to do, was contact or talk to, or someone for the Patriots or something hey, if your client's unhappy, just let us know. We might have any of your clients, if they're unhappy with that, just let us know. Because there's no way that you quit a team and have a deal inked in under 24 hours without the deal already being done. And that's dirty as shit, but that's the Patriots way. So, it is what it is.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Oh, it's going to be another fun
All
year.
you do is win, win, win because you cheated?
I just said no matter what.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, fair. Fair enough.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. How else did I get through college? Wait, what? I'm sorry. No joke, though. I had a class where we had the test ahead of time. That was a fantastic class. Anyway, so video games, pew, 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 something like that.
Pew, pew, and pew. No, but Gears did a very good job. They released a great game. There are, 5 more AAA games coming out this year, one of which I probably won't play, but you better damn fucking believe your ass I'm playing Borderlands. And we'll probably cover that a little bit on the next episode, as well as what else is coming out between now and then.
Destiny.
September.
Destiny expansion is coming out in October.
Destiny. expansion comes out right after the next episode. Between the next episode, we have Borderlands 3. No, not that. Not that. So Borderlands 3 looks like the only like big game coming out between now and the next episode. And then followed that by Destiny 2, Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Never heard about that.
Yeah, Breakpoint's really interesting because it's going to have all the operators from...
Siege?
Yep.
No. What?
Yep.
What's it?
No,
what's
is that a different game? That's a different game.
I say what?
Yeah, that's
Wasn't that the
That makes sense.
Wildlands expansion?
No, Breakpoint's a new game. It's not Wildlands, but it's almost like Wildlands. But there is another game coming out that's a Rainbow Six game that has all the operators from Siege in it in a more like Halo-esque role. So like they actually have dialogue.
Hmm.
Okay.
I can't remember what that one's called. That's not coming out this year.
Interesting.
But yeah, for the rest of the year, we have Borderlands 3, Destiny 2. We have, as far as what we can play, we have Call of Duty, Outer Worlds.
Here's a random question because I'm blanking. When did Battlefield 5 come out?
Oh, fuck.
Wasn't this year, was it?
No.
Because I thought they were in the same Call of Duty pattern, just cranking one out.
November
every
9th,
year.
2018, so it was last year.
Okay. I figured it was like
But
during
there's
Thanksgiving
also
time.
there's also not a Assassin's Creed coming out this year.
It's probably a good thing because when studios like pump out games every year, the quality goes down a little bit per year. Like
I mean, don't tell Activision that because that would fuck up their whole process. But
I mean,
yeah.
I think a lot of gamers would appreciate if studios took more time to build a more quality game and to have
but
more
my
time.
shareholders.
Fuck your shareholders. We kind of need to. There's like an overpopulation of games right now. There's too much to play and not enough time to play them. Like we need break in between games so we can check out the other ones, but come back to the ones that we know and love.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my refund for Anthem. By the way.
Told y'all game was gonna suck. Ooh.
I didn't know it was gonna suck that bad.
Yeah. I was wrong about the Division. I'll own that, but Jesus. I just remember that free weekend. I was like, this is the most boring game. Period.
I try to keep a positive attitude, but that was bad. Like I'm
Positive attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go on and on about how bad some games were this past year, but there are good ones. Gears is definitely one of the good ones this year.
Maybe we could do that for the year's end podcast, our New Year's.
I'll believe that
podcast.
statement Jeff made when he plays the game with me.
I have played the game.
You mean when he plays multiplayer?
At least once.
I'm not playing multiplayer.
I
I
just
suck.
want to hear him yell and scream like a little girl just a
I
couple
suck.
times.
I suck.
As long as you know it, that's fine. Just
Like
go.
I fully admit the fact that I suck at Gears. I can't wall bounce and save my life.
Just sit in the
can't
back
do
with the Lancer, man. That's why they made this game for you. It's all good.
You know what? Jeff can play with you if you let him play on PC while you're on Xbox.
And actually, you can do that. There's like an arcade mode. There's quick play and stuff where we actually could do that.
Yeah, we never even touched on the arcade mode. Like the arcade mode is interesting, but it can be broken. I feel it's a good thing it's not.
Yeah, and someone was like, "Well, I didn't really notice the difference between arcade play and real play." I don't remember who told me that. I want to slap that person for.
Well, can you fill me in? Like I don't know.
I was gonna say, so arcade is different. So arcade, it's team deathmatch. Style game.
Up to 50.
Yeah, it's up to 50. It's not the Gears team deathmatch. So it's like Call of Duty. Like this was their last hope to try to like get all the COD kids to come over. So everybody starts with a rifle. It's either a Lancer or a Hammerburst, and that's all you have. I think you get a pistol too. You get a pistol too.
You got a snub.
Or well, it depends on what character you pick, but yeah. I think. I actually have not played it since I tried it in the tech test or whatever. But as you get kills, or in Gears, like you can do like 40, 50 damage to somebody. If someone else kills the person, you still get credit for the kill. So I guess as you get an elimination, as they call it, you start accruing points. And the points, you can trade them in for power weapons. And so based on what characters you selected, you start with X gun, and you have a choice of grenades and then 2 choice of power weapons. And you use those to purchase those guns. Those guns come with extremely limited ammo. Like one of the ones, you can actually purchase or play as a character that can purchase a Gnasher. But you get 1 clip, so you get 6 shots. So unless you're really good at one-shotting everybody, that's a maximum of 6 kills for most people, probably 3 to 4. And then when you die, it resets, and you have to buy the guns again and stuff. So, yeah, it's interesting because there's one character that can buy the sniper. I think it's only like 6 kills, which is really easy in Gears to get real fast with the way they have it set up. That everybody's lancering and hammer bursting, and you just pop their heads. It's very interesting. It's insanely frustrating to play against people on PC because, once again, that's where keyboard and mouse really comes into play.
Okay.
That looks like an interesting game type. But yeah, I think it's one of the better games that have been released this year. There are a few games still left. I mean, right now Borderlands is going to be potentially my number 1 game for the year, as long as they don't like go 180 on me with it. But I don't see that happening. They have a pretty core game design that they will more than likely stick with.
Yeah, I'm interested to try it. Is there like a single player to it as well?
So the entire campaign is both single and multiplayer. So I can drop in and out of yours, and you can drop in and out of mine, and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's like Destiny, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think this game has like a lot more gun combinations or different.
They advertised 1 billion different guns.
Yeah, they have like some algorithm that like just randomizes perks with different guns, and
so the
came
skins,
out to 1 billion.
Yeah, it can be the same skins, but it has 1 billion different gun combinations.
So it's kind of like random rolls, Destiny wise.
Yes and no. There will be guns that are going to be a static roll that you're going to want to go after. So like
the exotics.
No. So yes, like the exotics, but there will be. You won't be able to pick up, like, let's say, what was the gun that we went after that had different perks in Destiny?
What?
What was the gun that we would farm in Destiny?
Oh, like Grasp of Malik or whatever.
Yeah, so like the Grasp of Malik, like if you were to transition the Grasp of Malik into Borderlands, it'll have the same static roll every time. So if you get it, you get it. You don't have to keep farming for it.
Yeah, so it's like, and then so there's a couple of those guns that are static, like the exotics, and then the rest of the guns all roll. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so same thing.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a looter shooter.
Yeah.
It's the very like definition of looter shooter.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of their guns are a little bit more ridiculous and fun to play with.
It's
stupid.
It's supposed to be just crazy cartoony stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm down with it.
That's my temptation to kind of play with it, but I don't know.
I mean, Jeff's gonna buy it, so I'll tell you what. I'll play it with him some, and we'll see how good it is.
Yeah, like I'm fixed on Destiny right now. I don't know why, but I'm enjoying myself.
I gotta be honest. I gotta see how good that's really gonna be. I just such a time sink, and there's so many other fun games that I want to play. Like, I just don't know. Like, I still love playing Apex when I have just a couple minutes. I'm gonna jam out hard on Gears. If Call of Duty really is back to the Modern Warfare type thing, I'm definitely going to play that a lot. I just don't know how much time I'm going to want to sit in there you know, killing 5,000 grunts to get a gun that will probably sit in the vault.
Fair enough.
We'll see.
Is there anything else that we wanted to cover?
No,
I mean, there's too much.
All right.
We need to go play some more.
We do need to play some more. Life has been, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's hit us in the face pretty hard the past week and a half. But I've got a little bit of a breathing room over the next few days, finally, to actually like sit down in a decent hour and get some time in. But as always, Kirk will leave all of our social medias in the show notes. The Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the email address, and our website. Kirk said 2 weeks ago, that he was working on an actual website. We will provide further information once that has some further information. And as always, if there's a game that you want to suggest to us, or you want to be on the show with us to discuss a game that we have played or that you've played, or just to kind of throw your 2 cents into something, reach out to us on one of the social media platforms. The next episode will be posted around the 25th of September. As I said, we will probably cover a little bit of Borderlands with that, as well as any news that may come out in the meantime. But until then, stay frosty.
You're such a tool.
Always.
Hey, he's a Patriots fan. He knows his place. We'll catch you all later.
Later, guys.